Hi guys, this is another one of my plant vlogs. I hope you enjoy my video. You're going to hit the like, subscribe, and of course the bell so you're notified every single time I do upload a new video. All of my social media accounts, including what I do provide whenever time I water my plant, will be in the description section, so do check that out. Anything else will be in the description section, and the previous vlogs for this particular plant will be up and above on the video from time to time. So let's get started. This sits in a west-facing window. The west-facing window does have an awning, so put that into consideration. That just means that it's not directly there. There's an obstruction, and I think it's about like, what would be the standard? Like 6 feet? 5 to 6 feet would have some kind of roof, but then the roof would also extend a little bit out of that. So I would say maybe 6 to 8 feet. Let's just say that. She sits there all year round. I do rotate her every time I water, and I don't move her anywhere else. She is, I would say, she's been with me, has it been 2 years? And she started off with a different plant, and I will show you guys from top to bottom. She has grown. I did split this up. It used to be Fiddle Leaf Fig 1, if you want to look at that, or Ficus Lyrata 1. This was a part of that pot, and I separated them because they were basically like, the roots were fighting each other, and I could see it from the plant. So I had to split them up, and this is what she looks like now. I water her when the top of her root ball is completely dry, like sand. Also, the frequency depends on the season. For the more sunnier or on the winter season, where summer and winter usually for me, they're a little bit more similar in that sense. The summer, because of the light and the air conditioning, I have central heat and air. She does sit, I would say, about 1 to 2 feet away from a vent. And she has actually acclimated in there now. Though I think the first time I did put her in there, and also I did split her from a different pot as well. So it was 2 shock situations. Transplanted, split from a different root ball, so she had some root damage and a different spot in the house. What happened with that was she did complain, because this is a very finicky, a very diva kind of plant. It will complain immediately. So just don't stress out right away. If you do not use an anti-shock, it's probably a shock. Every time you move this plant, even like a foot away, it will complain a lot of times. So it's best to put them right next to a window. All of my Fiddle Leaf Fig, I have a lot now because I had to split them. They're all in they're all directly at a window. West. I've tried an east. They were not thriving. They were kind of surviving, slowly dying. But a west is best for them, from my personal experience. This does not get any supplemental light in the darker days or the darker seasons. As I've said before, when it comes to the summer or more light, I've noticed I have to water her more frequently. I would say the top part of the soil will be dry. I would say I don't really use a moisture meter, because when I did that before, due to this plant, my plants were not really responding really well. So I just use a different system. I check the root ball for this particular plant. For the top part of the root ball, has to be dry. If it's a little bit damp, a little bit moist, I give it an extra day or 2. I'll check again the next day and the following day if it's still a little damp. And I check the top part of the soil. The entire top part has to be dry up to about a quarter. If it goes to a quarter to, if I can get away with a quarter to a half an inch, I will do that, but I don't think it will. It starts to complain a little bit. So here she is. Like I said, depending on the season, I have watered her every, I would say, 6 to 7 days minimum, because she's huge and she is in an 8-inch pot. I have also watered her up to, I would say, between 14 to 21 days, like I said, depending on the season. For me, springtime, right after winter, springtime, and also in the fall, I have to water less frequently, and that's just in my area. Like, again, I have central heat and air, and I have a built-in humidifier, but it only pops in whenever the air or the heat comes out, or the air. Anyway, and it is at 45% that we choose to keep it up at all times. And here she is. I do not provide an extra humidifier that is external, that is just sitting right there. I don't do that. I don't spritz her. I do not mist her. If you do mist or spritz, I would recommend, or even a humidifier, I would recommend to do that like I would recommend to do that like when there is no more light. Because when you do that really early or right before it gets it gets direct light, it can burn the leaves. So just don't really get too scared when that does happen. When you do get the red spots, which are edema, I'm going to show you. These are edema. That's just inconsistent watering. And also, sometimes when you do give it fertilizer, sometimes it does that. Or the lack of, if it is getting that, the bigger it gets, it will just clear out. It's kind of like a birthmark essentially that will fade away in time. This still has a little bit of edema. I'm not really worried about it. I actually like the edema because it makes it very, very pretty in my opinion, and it's red. A lot of people get kind of worried about it. I really don't. And so here she is. She has really grown, I think. I mean, since the last time I vlogged about her. I think that must have been about a year ago. I'm not sure. So here she is. And as promised, I always update my vlogs. A lot of people do ask about if there are any updates. And here it is. And there's always new growth, no matter what. And that is, I think, due to what I do feed her. Like that. It's always new growth. It's right there. There's new growth right there. This is probably from like, it was a little too dry. And she got some brown spots. There you go. If you guys have any questions about this particular plant, to me, honestly, as soon as Fiddly Fig have acclimated, they're usually very easy in my opinion. I would also recommend to not move them around a lot. Also, what helps is that I do give them anti-shock when I do move them, if I do move them. And that does help because then they won't be complaining or be fussy. All right. Thank you guys so much for the love and support. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and of course the bell so you're notified every single time I do upload you a video if you haven't. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye. Bye.